So here we go with the second round of the simulation of Sygg, checking the draws, seeing how well I get the cards that I want or need to do what the deck is supposed to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I have... Okay, so this is a more interesting starting hand. So I'm going to set aside Washout, because it's not relevant right now. I'm in a bit of trouble because the only black I have is from the Bojuka Bog, which I want to save as a reaction. Cabal Coffers, I have no swamps, so that's not going to trigger. Archmage, I'm going to set her aside because even though she's very useful, I don't have any blue to cast her. I will keep the Spectre Shroud, the Brash Squire. I will keep the Reliquary Tower and Cabal Coffers. So I'll set aside Bojuka Bog, Glen, Elendra, Archmage, and Washout. So draw for those cards. 1. Okay, it's not looking good. Fencer. 2. Waste Not. 3. Minamo. This is not an ideal starting hand, but I'll see if it works on some level. Let's shuffle these back in. I can't even cast Sygg on turn 2 with what I have. So, again, for the simulation, I'll pretend that I have 2 opponents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Draw for my turn. There's something else that doesn't help me now. Well, anybody that plays EDH knows this happens from time to time. So let's get this out of the way. I play Reliquary Tower, because it's highly likely I'm going to not be casting my cards, and I'll be building up my hand, and I don't want to just discard them. So, my opponents take their turns. Draw for my turn. Oh, okay. Looking better now. Island. I can't cast Sygg, but I'll spend 1 colorless and 1 blue, and I'll go ahead and get the Spectre Shroud into play. My opponents take their turns, untap, upkeep, draw. Yuriko. Okay. Now that's interesting. So let's play Minamo. Let's get Sygg out there. So cast Sygg, and just because I can, I'll spend 1, and I'll give him the Spectre Shroud. So now he is a 2/3 creature. And if he deals combat damage to somebody, they will discard a card. So, if you saw the first simulation, it started off pretty good. I was able to do things. I had my colors. I was rock and roll. But I had nothing to trigger the discard cycle that the deck, its main theme is. Now I have something to trigger the discard cycle. And as a side bonus, it'll be commander damage. So imagine my opponents take their turns, draw, we'll untap, upkeep, draw. Okay, I got reanimate. I shouldn't complain. I can. Complaining is a national sport here in the Czech Republic. So I might as well get this out. So play Cabal Coffers. It does nothing right now because I have no swamps. I can't cast much of anything else. I have Venture, but he's a reactionary card, so I'll keep him in my hand. I'll keep my mana up. I will attack somebody with Sygg for 2. It's not enough to trigger the 3 loss or life triggered ability he has, so I will not get a card at the end of my turn from his attack, but they will discard a card. So they discard a card, take 2 damage, done. They take their turns, I untap. I don't have 2 basic lands, so this will come into play tapped. But I've got a swamp. I can get a black mana off of Cabal Coffers now. Woohoo! I'm in business, baby. Christ. Okay. So, what am I going to do this turn? I guess I will... So if I attack with Sygg, they discard a card. At this point of the game, I don't have a lot of creatures. I could use Yuriko to put her into play, return Sygg to my hand, but I won't have any mana to recast Sygg. And if I attack somebody with Sygg this early in the game and make them discard another card, they will become upset more often than not, and I will become more of a target. And I don't have a lot to defend myself with. And if I cast anything, I will not be able to cast Fencer to defend myself. So, with that in mind, I would not do anything this turn. But let's imagine, for the simulation, because we're now on turn 5, 5 lands, one of them hits the other one for 3. So I draw a card. Get a card off of Sygg. Okay, that's very nice. That's going to help. And then I untap, draw for my turn. Nightveil Specter. Okay, things are looking up. So, let's start by... Commodores is nothing now. So, blue, colorless. I'll play the Signet. And normally I would want to keep mana up longer for Venser, depending on what my opponents are playing. For the simulation, I will just concentrate on getting more things out. So, right now, I might as well get Waste Knot out. So, turn that to a blue-black, cast Waste Knot. And now, go ahead and attack somebody. Attack somebody, they discard a card, and Waste Knot will trigger. So let's say they discard a land card. Just for the sake of the simulation. They discard a land card. I now have 2 black in my mana pool. But... it would go away after the attack step. With that, I'm going to close the simulation. Maybe I'll try a third one, but I think you're getting the idea. Anybody watching how Sygg works, if you saw the deck presentation, you saw the combo, especially with Words of Waste and Guess Glenmois. Obviously, I don't have any of those in my hand. And yeah, let me know what you think of the deck and the playthrough in the comments below. Cheers!